oh boy, it's another Kevin Hart movie. It's not like I saw a bad one of those earlier this year. Oh wait, Ride Along 2. Shit. Hello and welcome back to another Midnight Showing. As always, I'm Kelly, and I just got out of Central Intelligence. An actually enjoyable, funny Kevin Hart movie. I didn't think those were actually possible. I'm not a big comedy fan these days, because most comedies are just, well, too childish for me, I guess is the best way to put it. I know that's kind of bigoted of me to say, and that I'm really, just on my high horse and all that, but, most comedies don't appeal to me. That's what it is. But this one was genuinely funny. I imagine that if the script had been tinkered a bit and, tightened the screws on a few of these scenes to make them a little bit more steady, it probably would have been as good, if not better, than Spy was for me last year. So, yeah, I don't think this was a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know if I'd actually say it's worth paying money in the theater for, but I could understand if you really wanted to. This is probably the best Kevin Hart movie I've seen of his. He comes out with 3 to 5 movies a year lately. I stated in another person's video that he is very quickly becoming the new Chris Tucker, and that's basically his whole shtick, the whole, I'm loud, I'm short, I'm going to do this and that. That's basically what he does in every single film. This one, he did do that, but it is seriously, toned down. He plays more of the straight man, and The Rock is actually the funnier guy of this duo. He's the one who's doing the outrageous stuff, and, well, Kevin Hart is just along for the ride. This is basically another buddy cop movie, so you can guess what the premise is by that. Friends come out of the word work, they start hanging out, shit gets real, straight man wants out, but the other guy wants him in so they can stop some evil terrorist plot. You've seen this plot before, it's not that big a deal. So, yeah, I'm kind of dipping into the spoilers there, but my final verdict, non-spoiler version, is this is probably worth a discounted theater price. It's not exactly worth paying money for, but I can honestly say that it was pretty damn close, and it was genuinely funny, which is more than I can say for, say, Ride Along 2, or Get Hard, or The Wedding Ringer, or any of those other movies. I know they don't have videos on a couple of those. They just came out at the wrong time, and I ended up just seeing them when they came to DVD, but yeah, this is probably the best of the Kevin Hart stuff that I've actually seen. Going into the actual spoilers of the movie, I'm not going to do too much on the spoiler section because for this one, it kind of feels like a disservice to talk about some of these genuinely funny moments, but I'll just tell you the setup for most of them. So as I said, basically the whole plot of this movie is a buddy cop movie with spies. It almost feels Rush Hour 3-ish. Just replace Jackie Chan with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart as Chris Tucker. But as I said, they're quickly becoming the same person. Inside of this one, someone has stolen some satellite codes that are being sold on the black market. The Rock is framed for all of this, which is one of those things I didn't like, that he was actually framed. It would have been a much better twist if he actually turned out to be the bad guy, and kind of would have gone along with their whole anti-bullying message, which is prevalent throughout the whole movie. But he's in the CIA, he's framed for it, and he contracts his old high school buddy, there's quotations on that, I'll explain that in a second, Kevin Hart, who is an accountant who would know how to track this kind of thing via cyberspace and whatnot. So the CIA start going after them. Kevin Hart gets dragged in. Hijinks ensues. They get the plans back, and everything's fine. That's basically the plot. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty that really does make this funny, and that's The Rock. The movie opens with a flashback scene to back when The Rock and Kevin Hart were in high school. Kevin Hart was on top of the world. He was the most popular guy. The Golden Jet, I believe his nickname was. And then you have The Rock, who was the fat kid out who got picked on and had one. This opening scene is kind of hard to watch because you could actually see it happening this day and age. But basically, a bunch of bullies grabbed The Rock while he was in the shower and threw him into the middle of a assembly, bare ass, butt naked. Now, the only person who didn't laugh at him like a decent human being was Kevin Hart, who threw his jacket, ran over there, helped him up, get his jacket off, and cover him up, and told him to get the hell out of there fast. And since then, The Rock has had some psychoses that really, really need to go. You need to see a therapist about. Just saying. He rides that line between creepy and friendly very well. Basically, the only person that he's ever seen as his friend, the only person he's ever seen as a good person, was Kevin Hart. And they're written to be kind of mirror images of each other. It fast forwards to the present day, Kevin Hart is going through a midlife crisis. He thinks he peaked out in high school because he never really did anything after high school. He did a couple of odd jobs here and there, and then he ended up just being a low-level accountant. He even gets passed up early on inside of the movie for promotion for his secretary. Yeah, shot to the nads. In which, can I just say that that guy that Kevin Hart is just talking to, who just comes up and says the most obnoxious, shitty things, was completely terrible, not needed in this film. And when he gets tasered after the sprinkler system goes off, I would just like to point out that would have killed him. It should have killed him. That would have made that scene a lot better. Just saying. But anyway, Kevin Hart believes they peaked out in high school, that he's not really done anything. Yeah, he's married with the love of his life from high school still, but he hasn't done anything. She's actually a partner at her lawyer's firm that she only just barely started at. And he's a low-level accountant doing basically nothing. You know, he's going through his midlife crisis, and it's easy to see why, especially with the 20-year high school reunion anniversary coming up. The Rock is the mirror image of that. He never left high school. He's always idolizing his friend, his buddy, and he's never really faced any of the issues. There's a scene later on where he actually has to face the bully who did throw him out into the assembly, and he freezes. Understandably, he really does have some mental issues left over from this. He never left high school. He thinks he peaked at high school. Kind of a mirror image of each other, and they balance each other out. By the end of it, The Rock is able to punch Nathan Bates in the face. Nathan Bateman. The guy from The Gift and Arrested Development. God damn it, I can't think of his name. And I'm not going to look it up because, yeah, he actually manages to punch him in the face and walk around bare-ass naked in front of everyone because he doesn't care anymore. You know, that's just the whole progression of The Rock throughout the movie. And as I said, The Rock is where 90% of the humor comes in from this. And it's clear that Kevin Hart and Dwayne The Rock Johnson have amazing chemistry with each other. They know how to play off each other very well. The Rock is playing the really, really just always cheery. It's going to be okay, dude. It's going to be fine. They're going to shoot at us, but it's going to be fine. With Kevin Hart playing the straight man, it's like, they're going to shoot at us. What are you talking about? It's going to be fine. And then when they're just having conversations with each other, and you realize just some of the weird shit that The Rock does, I mean, he's very into ponies. I want to make a Deadpool reference here, but they didn't actually go that far. They were implying a lot, just saying. And he carries around a fanny pack with stun grenades. I guess when you're a CIA agent, you carry what you can. But the best part of The Rock's psychosis, in my opinion, is it comes at the very end of the movie when finally The Rock gives back Kevin Hart his high school jacket. He's like, dude, you kept that, man? Oh my gosh, Oh man, I didn't even. Where did you get this? They're like, oh no, I kept it. It's I usually sleep in it, but it's okay. It's okay. It's clean. It's clean now. Go ahead, keep it now. Okay, thanks. Yeah, thank you. You know, it's stuff like that. You could just see it. And as I said, there's a big anti-bullying message inside of this, which is very, very good. I'm not gonna dish it because I actually do think that the anti-bullying thing does need to be said quite a bit more, especially in this day and age. Although we need to address the bullying online more than we need to address the bullying in, life, because most of the people have figured out that that's where they can get away with it these days. So we need to address that. That's my own personal opinion. But the way it's addressed in this movie and handled, playing into the characters' psychoses and whatnot, does bring into some genuine humor and, frankly speaking, a lot of endearment. And yeah, I really don't have too much else to say about this film other than it was genuinely funny. I just think that some of the scenes were a little loosey-goosey. They ran on a little bit. You can tell that there's a lot of improv in a lot of scenes. A lot of it feels like my YouTube video right now, where it's just a little disjointed and not really, all there. I'm not going to say that this movie was bad by any stretch of the imagination, because I genuinely laughed in this movie, which is a rarity in comedies, especially ones that star Kevin Hart. I am not looking forward to The Secret Life of Pets. I'm not. But that's a video for another day. So, yeah, my final recommendation for this one is just like I said earlier. It's worth seeing at a discounted price. I wouldn't pay full price. If you're going on like a $5 Tuesday or matinee or at the cheap seat theater, absolutely. You will not regret this film whatsoever. For everybody else, it's probably worth waiting. Yeah, that's it from me. Did you enjoy the video? Have you seen Central Intelligence? Tell me what you thought about it in the comments below, and maybe we'll get some healthy discussion going. And as always, if you like what you see, be sure to hit the like button, the share button, and subscribe to the channel for more. And be sure to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitch and Twitter. I will be doing something on Twitch pretty soon. I just had to do some things with the internets because my routers and modems don't like to function properly. And yeah, that was a horrible joke. You can go ahead and castrate me in the comments for that. Anyway, that's it for me. Be sure to look forward to that, and I'll see you all next time.